Welcome back to Clash of Cultures. Continue our 2023 college football preview. This was fan requested, and like always, we're going to try to fulfill any of the fans' requests in terms of shows, unless you are Alex Corbin requesting Nebraska versus Colorado. But today we're going to be breaking down the Oregon State versus Washington game. But like always, before we get to football, we want to thank you guys for the love and support as we continue our march to 1,000 subscribers. And if you guys don't know, at 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing another college football Heisman jersey giveaway. So please stay tuned for that. Please tell a friend and bring a friend so we can get to 1,000 and we can do that giveaway. Also, we've been mentioning this a couple times, but as we get closer to the college football season, please be on the lookout for the live show. Please press the notification button, the like and subscribe button if you haven't already and you made it this far. Those are going to be fun, and those are going to be dependent upon user interaction. So please be on the lookout for those. Tune in. Let us know your thoughts. We'll react to them live and in person. But with all that being said, Steven, what's your thoughts on Oregon State? And I know you got a little love for Oregon State and DJU and Washington. What's your thoughts on this game?
Alrighty, before we get into the thoughts on that game, I'm going to do the comment of the day really quick because you always forget. So we're not going to edit this out. So he forgot again for like the third time. But the comment of the day this time around comes from Caleb Kennedy 7551. This is from the LSU versus Florida State preview that we posted a few days ago. He says, I disagree with the takes, but hell of a video, guys. Liked and subscribed. Go Tigers. Keep up the good work. I got all of them except the 92 Heisman or the 92 Nebraska championship. So the reason why he's saying that is we did a trivia in that video, and he knew all the champions. I believe there was 4 other ones. He knew all of them except the 1992 championship team. And the reason why he says he disagrees with our take is because my dad and I both had Florida State winning that game in week 1. And obviously he's an LSU fan, so he's siding with LSU there. So no knock there. I respect that as well. It's going to be a hell of a game. But to talk about today's game, today's topic, Oregon State, Washington. I believe it's the 11th I'm pretty sure it's the 11th game for each of these teams. Last year it was a 3-point game, 24-21 Washington's way. So it was a very close game last year. I think looking at the line right now, Washington is a 2.5-point favorite. So another really close game. We posted a poll on the channel earlier today, basically asking, our followers and, any other person who sees our feed, sees us on their feed, Oregon State or Washington, and it's a blowout right now. I think Washington has like 15 votes to 2. So it's kind of odd that Oregon State's not getting the, respect they deserve after a 10-3 season last year. And just a little bonus kind of fun fact, if you want to call it, from last year. I know me and my dad have been kind of harping on how good of a conference this is going to be. Yeah. The Pac-12 had 5 10-win teams last year. With UCLA being 94, so just outside of it, 9-4, just outside of it. No other conference had 5 10-win teams, so that just goes to show how stacked the top of this conference is. Obviously, you have a few bottom teams out here that are pretty bad last year, but I think it's going to be just as good this year, if not better. So we'll see there. But in this game, I probably do side with Washington. I just think they're a little bit more powerful, a little bit more explosive on the offensive side of the ball. I do think it's going to be a very high-scoring game, way higher than 24-21. I'm probably guessing in the 40s for both teams. Maybe even 50s, to be honest. Penix is obviously a Heisman-type player. I don't know what DJ's going to do. I don't know what DJ's going to do. I'm hoping that he does better, obviously, being a Clemson fan. But he has to kind of get reacclimated to a new situation, new scheme, new surrounding cast, weapons around him, coaching staff, environment, conference. I mean, you name it. He has to do everything pretty much new. He's been there for about 8-9 months now. So I'm sure he's kind of gotten a little bit under his belt, but there's nothing like, being on Saturday under the lights kind of doing it. And luckily this is the 11th game that we're breaking down for them. So I think by that point, he's going to be a little bit more acclimated to the system and to the new team. So I expect big things out of him this year, but I just don't know if they get the job done against Washington. Like I said, I just think they're too powerful. But what are your thoughts on them?
Matt, Oregon State was such a peculiar team last year. And you'd have to say they won a lot of games with their defense. This is a team that even in losses was able to hold USC to 17 points, was able to hold Washington last year to 24 points. This is a 10-3 team, but they didn't have a passer over 2,000 yards. They didn't have a rusher over 1,000 yards. I'm sorry, they did have a rusher barely over 1,000 yards in Damian Martinez, and their top receiver was like at about 600 yards. So not a lot of offense, but they just found ways to win. Now, obviously, you hope DJ can stable that quarterback room a little bit, can bring a little bit more of his dynamic play and pushing the ball down the field a little bit better than last year with Ben, and I don't know how you say his name, Galbranson. So a little bit more than Ben Galbranson last year. But this team found ways to win. I think this is going to be a tough out team again this year. They do bring back a lot of the players that contributed to them being pretty good last year. The concern is they are losing their entire secondary. I'm saying all this to be really complimentary to Oregon State, but I'll be honest. I think Washington is gonna put it on them pretty bad. No knock to DJ, no knock to what Oregon State is bringing back. I think, like I said, in the Pac-12, it's really a 3-team race, maybe a 4-team race if you add in Utah. And I think this is one of those teams. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Washington was able to pull off winning the Pac-12. But yeah, this offense and that defense is nasty. I think Oregon State is going to have a good season. I just think this is not going to be one of those good games for them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like I said, I do think it's going to be a shootout, but I do favor Washington in it. I don't know if it's going to be a 3-point game like it was last year, maybe a touchdown, maybe 10 points, or it could be, 4 points, whatever. But those of you guys who watched our Washington and Oregon State previews, we're staying consistent. I just looked while he was giving his kind of synopsis of the game. We both chose Washington over Oregon State, so that didn't change. That didn't change there. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. I think quarterback play is going to be paramount. I think whoever has the better day that day, the team's going to win. I think turnovers, you throw two interceptions, I think that could cost you the game. We saw DJ kind of struggle last year early, and that's why he got replaced by Klubnik. Penix did not struggle at all, obviously. He should have been in the Heisman conversation. I think if they, won maybe one more game, they would have been, or he would have been, I'm sorry. But we'll just have to see. I know they're out west, so not a lot of people watch, these kind of games. A lot of the East Coast people don't watch these games, but we've been talking about this for the last, month and a half. You guys got to start watching these Pac-12 games, especially this year, because I think there's probably realistically at least 3 teams. Shoot, I'll say 4 teams that are playoff caliber teams in the Pac-12 this year in USC, Oregon, Washington, and Utah. I wouldn't put Oregon State in that conversation just yet. But with that being said, I think Oregon State can beat any 4 of those teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, this Washington team is high-powered. We talked about Penix. Yes, they lost Wayne to Papa, but they're bringing back Cameron Davis, who was about a 500-yard rusher. And again, now with an opportunity to be that bell cow, you expect that to tick up a little bit. They're bringing back just about everybody who caught the ball for them last year, to include 2,000-yard receivers and another dang near 700-yard receiver. I just think, again, with a team, Oregon State, that lost almost his entire secondary, it's going to be tough to guard this explosive offense. And then, as we mentioned in the Washington video, Washington's bringing back a pretty good defense as well. Like I said, I have them just being a little bit too high-powered for Oregon State. I think Oregon State's going to have a pretty good year, but like I said, I think this Washington team may be onto something very special.
And I know a lot of the Oregon State fans are going to tell us that, home field advantage is going to play a big part in this game. I do think it's going to play a big part, but I don't know if it's going to be enough at the end of the day. We'll have a better way of breaking this game down after a few weeks. I know we've said that a few times in these previews, but again, we're previewing these games with absolutely no game film or game experience. In the 2023 season.
Well, there's so much we don't know, right? Maybe DJ gets to Oregon State and we see him in game, and it could go either way. Maybe he meshes beautifully. And remember, DJ was a top recruit quarterback. I think you said second to Bryce Young.
Yeah, he was the second quarterback behind Bryce Young.
And we've seen flashes of the talent, right? Maybe, and you remember Bo Nix with Oregon. He seemed to, after getting away from the East Coast, from the SEC, seemed to come out to the Pac-12 and look like a whole different quarterback. And that may be the same synopsis with DJ. DJ may get out with Oregon State. We watch him the first couple of games and we say, oh my goodness, they got something here.
Yeah, and again, like I said, we're previewing these games before the season starts. The live shows are going to be awesome, guys. So, like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment any other teams you guys want to see, any other games you want to see, any position groups you guys want to see us break down, anything, current events happening in college football, anything like that. But like I said, the live shows are going to be awesome. We're going to be able to pull information from you guys. We just launched membership, so the channel is monetized now, so that's awesome as well. We'll be able to do super chats, all that kind of stuff. So the channel is really picking up. Thanks to you all for, rocking with us and subscribing. But before we head out today, I do have a trivia for my dad.
Okay.
This one's going to be a little bit different today. We're going to talk about all-time leading rushers. So we're going to start easy to hard. So who is the all-time leading rusher in the SEC?
In the SEC, Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, one of one. So there's only three, okay?
Okay.
Number 2, who is the all-time leading rusher in the ACC?
In the ACC, that's Florida State, Clemson. I'm going to go with Travis Etienne.
Okay. I see. Okay. Now this one.
You just wanted me to say Travis Etienne.
Well, no, I didn't know if you knew that. Just because I didn't know that. I didn't know he was the leading rusher. And I'm a Clemson fan. I didn't know that. Just because a lot of these names are older. Okay, so this one, I don't know.
So my second guess, my initial thought was Work Done, but
Work Done is not on the list. It goes Travis Etienne, Ted Brown, and then Dalvin Cook. It only shows me 3. Okay, so the number one, or this one is going to be the Mountain West Conference.
Mountain West?
Yes. So who is the all-time leading rusher for the Mountain West? And I will give you a hint.
Is this somebody I would know?
We've seen him play live. So that gives you a time frame on when we were in San Diego. I saw him live.
The little scat back from San Diego State.
Number 19, I believe you wore. What number? What's his name?
I know Penny went there as well.
It was not Penny. It was not
Marshall I know the guy. Oh, the little scat back.
And he has the all-time lead by 1,500 yards.
I can't think of his name though.
6,400 yards.
What's his name?
Donnell Pumphrey.
Pumphrey, yes. Pumphrey. I want to get, but I do remember watching him.
Yeah, so those of you guys, if you guys were 3 for 3, let us know. I think somebody could go 3 for 3 on these.
You think somebody would get Pumphrey?
I think somebody would.
Be honest now. Be honest.
I think somebody could, but nonetheless, that was our breakdown of the Washington-Oregon State video. As always, comment down below what you guys thought of our takes, your opinions on the game, who you think is going to win. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.